Hello everyone and welcome to This Week is Stupid for the 10th of October 2021. We got some really great news for you, but before we begin, I would like to remind you that after This Week is Stupid, there will be a live stream on my live stream channel where I will talk about the news that I don't cover here. So, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my other channel. There's going to be a link into the description. I guarantee to you, the people who did so have been fully entertained, and I have taken away their gloomies. So if you want me to take away your gloomies, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so let's get into the news. Every passing day, every passing moment, I wonder, what is Florida man up to? And apparently this week, Florida man kidnapped scientists to make his dog immortal. Probably a socialist, don't you think? I mean, he was forcing a man to give him his labor for free, for no remuneration. What is this? It's like public health care. No, you don't do that. You don't steal scientists. I understand the desire to make sure that your dog lives on, even after everything else has perished on the planet Earth in like 1 million years or so, but come on. This is not the way to do it. Why can't you gather the Dragon Balls like normal people, Florida man? Why can't you use the pet cemetery? Why do you have to go after Dr. Frankenstein? But anyway, like this got me thinking, and I believe we can now make an entire tier list of villainy when it comes to Florida man. Because he's a crazy fellow. He does a lot of things. So we can have on the first tier, the Elder God tier. And these are villains whose motives are hard to find fault in and arguably better than the heroes. For example, Florida man breaks into jail to hang out with his friends. Then we can look at the Great tier, reluctant villains who only do evil things because of the situation they find themselves in, such as the previous Florida man who kidnapped the scientist to make his dog immortal. I mean, it's not his fault that he lives on a planet where the dog is a mortal creature. So I kind of understand where he's coming from. It's the bad situation that he's in. Then we have the high tier villains. Villains who are retaliating against misdeeds done to them. They may be seeking to change society as a whole. Florida man attacks mom's boyfriend with samurai sword over missing can of shrimp. Then we get the mid-tier, villains who are only obeying their nature and doing what they do to survive. And this is the famous case of the Florida man arrested for refusing to stop masturbating in Burger King. And then you get the meh tier. Villains whose motives are a mystery and seem almost insane at times. Ohio man arrested after trying to have sex with a van. And then finally, the shit tier, villains who are just evil for lust and power. Florida man steals bird, attacks mom, 2 sons, burns down mobile home. Why would you do this? Why you do this? Okay, so this is the shit tier. So now if you ever want to make a Florida pen and paper RPG, if you want to make adventures into the kingdom of DeSantis, you can use my tier list to create interesting and memorable villains. But now let's put the villainy aside and let's talk about heroics. Apparently, 2 men have been rescued after being lost at sea for 29 days. And the men, once being rescued, have said it was nice to take a break from everything. That is some Chad energy, isn't it? Unironically, they are literally saying that being stranded on sea is a lot better than being left alone in their homes with the mainstream media to scare the living shit about them from the pandemic. I'm not kidding. This is what the men have said. Like, these 2 chuckleheads ended up stranded at sea, had a 400 kilometers trip. Apparently, Mr. Nanjikana says for The Guardian that he had to survive with his friend Junior Coloni, drinking rainwater for 29 days, eating whatever oranges they had left, and whatever coconuts they could find floating. But that was at least a better experience than listening to the mainstream media. Nanjikani said he has taken some positives away from the experience, such as a forced break from the chaos of a global pandemic. Wow. You know what, Mr. Nanjikani? In case you're watching this, here's what you've been missing. Let me get you up to speed.
So will these scare tactics work on people to get the shot, or you think their minds are already made up not to get the shot?
I think it absolutely will help. Polling from Kaiser found that knowing someone who became seriously ill from COVID or died from the virus are among the most powerful factors motivating that vaccine-hesitant people. And it reminds me of the days when you learned how to drive with the drunk driving, when they'd leave an accident out, or they'd show you those videos of texting when you're driving, also smoking commercials, the PSAs. And you can't unsee those, and they grip you from the inside. I think this will absolutely help.
Well, two things. One, they should show it on Fox News, target advertising. You know, show it on Hannity's show and Tucker's, and let those people who are trying to own the libs see what will happen if they don't get it. But there's something interesting that's going on. I was reading that a lot of people, they don't take the vaccine because they're afraid of the vaccine. Yeah. Now they're going to be afraid of not taking the vaccine. The question is, which fear will win?
I agree. I think the fear factor always works, right? Like scared straight. Yeah. I remember growing up. Remember the woman Terry who had the voice, her larynx removed?
Yeah.
And she would speak through the voice box.
Yeah.
I'll just never forget that. I also remember the ad campaign. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs, with the egg on the street frying. Yeah. That works. Fear works, unfortunately. And I was shocked to learn that 44% of Americans haven't taken the vaccine. That's almost half of the country. You know, and I really think that they're holding the rest of us hostage. And so they're not going to do the right thing unless, I guess, they're scared into it, because there are still people that think it's a hoax, or that they're going to get it and it's kind of like the flu. And it's not. You can die from it. Yeah, we know that.
And look, we've tried practically every other method, right? I mean, it's been like the Oprah show, you know, cars, scholarships. I mean, what have they not given out?
Don't forget guns in Virginia.
Right, guns in Virginia.
Right.
We've tried mandates. We've tried begging and pleading with people. We've tried celebrities. We've tried pastors. So now I think, you know, fear is a very good tool to have in your toolbox. And look, the problem here in America is plain and simple. It got politicized. COVID, wearing masks, the vaccine got politicized early, and it has completely tainted the debate. In Portugal, it was very politicized. Portugal was in a horrible situation. Today, Portugal is 98% vaccinated.
How did they change it? Yeah.
They brought in an admiral, and they told him, approach this. There he is. They brought in Admiral Enrique Gouveia Emelo. And they said, approach this like if it's a war on COVID.
Right.
He wore his uniform every time. He said, no politics. I'm depoliticizing it. This is going to be about unity and our country fighting COVID. And they're at 98%.
That's good. But how do they get through to people who, like the black audience, for instance, the African-American community, who has been burnt in the past by the Tuskegee experiment and by things coming out that have harmed them? I don't blame that community for being skittish about it. But I say that so many white people have gotten it now. You know, the experiment has been done on white people now. You know, the experiment has been done on white people now. You know, the experiment has been done on white people now.
Oh my, ratings went brrrr during that show. Nothing gets people more glued to the television than when they are afraid. Scaring people, yes. Ooh, woogie, woogie, woogie. I wonder if ABC can hire me, because I'm really good at scaring folks. I would get one of those pouches, you know, like you see in the movies that the witch doctors have, and they go like, and I would be like, be afraid. Are you scared yet? Be afraid. That's what I would do. ABC, I want to work for you. Give me the yellow lantern ring. Come on, ABC. Put it, if you like it, put a ring on it. How about that? I'll take the oath. I'll take the yellow lantern oath. I mean, explaining to people, having conversations, trying to get people on your own side, that is so difficult, time-consuming, and ineffective. The best way to do it is to treat your audience like children and scare them. Scare them. Be afraid. Ooh. Hey, you know what? You can bring a rattlesnake there and use the tail from the rattlesnake and go. That's what I would do. But yeah, it seems that bringing fear into politics is probably part of Build Back Better. Build Back Better. Do you know that one of the Democratic politicians didn't want to vote for the infrastructure bill, which is part of the Build Back Better agenda? And because of that, well, some activists decided to do the modern way of politics through healing and unity and scare her straight.
Okay, I'll be back.
Sit down, we want to talk to you real quick. Can we talk to you real quick?
Hi, actually, I am heading out.
But right now is a real moment that our people need in order for us to be able to talk about what's really happening. We need a Build Back Better plan right now.
And as workers, we need solutions, and the Build Back Better plan has the solutions that we need.
We knocked on doors for you to get you elected, and just how we got you elected, we can get you out of office if you don't support what you promised us.
We need 7 million citizenship for 7 million. We need the Build Back Better plan right now.
My name is Blanca. I was brought here to the United States when I was 3 years old. And in 2010, my grandparents both got deported because of SB 1070. And I'm here because I definitely believe that we need a pathway to citizenship. My grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago, and I was not able to go to Mexico and visit him because there is no pathway to citizenship. And if we have the opportunity to pass it right now, then we need to do it, because there's millions of undocumented people just like me who share the same story or even worse things that happen to them because of SB 1070 and because of anti-immigrant legislation. And this is the opportunity to pass it right now, and we need to hold you accountable to what you told us, what you promised us that you were going to pass when we knocked on doors for you. It's not right.
I'm a survivor of human trafficking, and it's because of the lack of worker protections that we don't have in the gig economy. I need you to stand by workers, lots of people who are like me, who became homeless and ended up in human trafficking right within 6 months of not having the ability to make money. Will you support the Build Back Better plan? Will you support the Build Back Better plan so that we can have justice and solutions that we need for immigration, labor, climate change? Build Back Better, pass the bill! 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 Build Back Better, pass the bill!
Undocumented! Undocumented!
I'm not afraid!
Undocumented!
I'm not afraid!
Undocumented!
I'm not afraid!
Build Back Better!
Pass the bill!
Build Back Better!
Back the bill!
Build Back Better!
Pass the bill!
Build Back Better!
Pass the bill!
I am
Am
somebody!
somebody!
I deserve
And I deserve
citizenship!
citizenship!
Right here! Right now!
Right now!
Mother! Is somebody!
Is somebody!
And she deserves
And she deserves
citizenship!
citizenship! Right now! Right now! Better pass the bill! Build Back Better, pass the bill! Build Back Better, pass the bill! Build Back Better, pass the bill!
We'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be back! We'll be back!
Build Back Better, pass the bill. Look how good I am at everything, and no one wants to hire me. No one wants to hire me, and I can do literally every single thing that these people can do. And I would probably not chuckle at the end. I have to say the chuckling kind of removes a little bit from the gravitas, you know, because I was watching, I had tears into my eyes. I was like, so inundated by the emotions that this person was giving to me. It's like she wanted to see her Mima. She wanted to see her Mima in Mexico, but she couldn't go there because then she couldn't come back to the United States because Mexico is an amazing and awesome country. But we can't say the U.S. is better because that would be white supremacists. Why? Wait. So all cultures are equal, okay? All countries are great. But you can go to Mexico and then you can't come back to the U.S. So why is that a problem? Because Mexico is good? I don't know. I guess Mexico doesn't need enrichment culturally. I mean, it's already enriched, so it doesn't need more people going there. Huh? Can anyone explain to me? See, this is why I don't like to think. Because I end up not being able to explain things. I like people doing the thinking for me. But from what I understood is that this is how democracy is being done in 2021. All right? You pass the bill, Senator, because if you don't pass the bill, we're going to scare you straight. We're going to send activists after you so that they follow you into the bathroom in order to watch how you take a shit and then put it up on the internet for the world to see. Now, you may say, hold on a little bit. I mean, the senator is a woman, and right now feminism is very strong. It's very tsuyoi. Surely, feminist publications aren't going to like what's happening. I mean, feminist publications wanted women in positions of power for quite a while now. I mean, now that the women are in positions of power, they're going to defend them. So I decided to look at what Jezebel says. Because Jezebel is a feminist publication and they like to defend the rights of women. I mean, in the past they wrote articles such as, surprise, online harassment of women is becoming an established norm. So this is why we need terms of service. This is why we can't just allow people to speak freely on the internet because women are suffering. So we need to crack down on individual freedom to not allow people to write as much as they want on the internet in order to protect girls. Look at this. Bullied girls are growing up to have serious health problems as adults. So we need to make schools pay money for experts, highly trained psychologists to have this zero tolerance policy to punish people who may bully girls. And clearly Jezebel has a huge stance against bullying and harassment of women, right? Absolutely bully Kristen's cinema outside of her bathroom stall, says Jezebel. Because that's progressive, right? That is so progressive. Wow. So much progressiveness. I have never seen so much progressiveness in any outlet ever. And I don't know why people accuse Jezebel of hypocrisy. Look, they were against online harassment, right? I mean, this happened in real life, so it's totally different, you guys. Completely different. Online is where we need security and safety. Real life may have dangers. And then you may say, well, there's a difference between a girl and a woman. Like, she's already grown up. She's already strong. She can take it, according to Jezebel. I mean, they're the experts on harassment, right? A lot of bullies I heard in school who want to harass women, they read Jezebel to learn how to do it because they're the experts. And by the way, I've seen publications which were trying to make the argument that the bathroom is a public place. I'm not even kidding, right? They were saying that in the bathroom, when you're at the sink and in the public area, that's public. It's just like the little stall. That is the privacy. That's the only privacy you're getting. I hope none of those journalists who wrote that piece happen to be men and go into the women's bathroom in what they consider to be the public place, because they might get in trouble with the authorities. They might get hit by the thing they hate the most, which is reality. Reality should only be consumed with editorials from fact checkers. You shouldn't experience it raw. But anyway, right, so this actually created a huge scandal, and one of the activists said, I will speak about the controversy regarding following Senator Sinema into the bathroom when I have the time. None of you have a right to tote police my desperate demands for labor protections after what I endured as a human trafficking survivor due to the fucked up gig economy. So let me get this straight. She wasn't upset when her friends were laughing at the end of the recording. She wasn't a little bit dismayed that her friends were like, no, now it's serious. For now, connect with the fact that you are on stolen indigenous land. So when you're in the bathroom and you think you're safe on the shitter, you're on stolen indigenous land. And indigenous women and children go missing and murdered because we don't have access to stable jobs, stable housing, clean water, clean food, or stable, decent healthcare, despite the fact that indigenous people have upheld our end of the treaty in assimilating and getting educated. So she thinks, all right, I mean, there is so much to unpack here. So first of all, that magic bill, the Build Back Better, is definitely going to guarantee all of the stable and the clean water. And it's going to be that, like, the government is Sky Daddy. It waves the magic wand, and it passes legislation, and poof, all of a sudden, everything appears. All right, like utopia is just one signature away. But secondly, if people have all these things, then human trafficking stops, right? Is that the logic? I mean, criminals are criminals because they don't have clean water and they don't have stable housing and stable jobs? Is that the case? Like Don Corleone stops doing crime the moment he has clean water, stable housing, and stable jobs? Okay, you know, like I'm not questioning the wisdom. Arizona is among the top 3 states in the U.S. where indigenous women and children go missing and murdered. Give my indigenous relatives to the south of the U.S.-Mexican border citizenship now. So, the U.S. is a really bad place. People are being kidnapped and murdered, so we need to bring more Mexicans to benefit from that in Arizona. Is this what I'm reading? Again, I don't know. Like, I don't like using my brain. I don't like using logic. I like allowing other people to do the thinking for me. So yes, Build Back Better. Absolutely, 100%. White communications department of organizations, media, and campaigns uphold white supremacy. So when you go to the bathroom to take a shit, that's white supremacy. Step out of the way. I think she did. I think she stepped out of the way, which is why you're harassing her in the bathroom. Pass the PRO Act, Build Back Better Act, MMIW, break the gig economy, mini Wiconi, Medicare for all, cancel rent, very important, cancel rent, fuck around and find out. So this is how democracy is being done now, right? This is the progressive version of democracy where you just get people on board with the program, because if not, you're going to hound them in the bathroom. Publications are going to encourage the elected representatives to be bullied, and you're also going to have people on social media not be held accountable for what they're doing, and they're telling you to fuck around and find out. That is so progressive. Wow, like that is the epitome of progressive politics. When I support social justice, this is exactly the type of thing that I support. You know, like you would think people vote for a representative. No. What they vote is for someone to get bullied by activists to pass whatever legislation the activist wants. So if you want legislation passed, you need to do what Jezebel says, right?
But 2 people do not have the right to sabotage what 48 want and what the President of the United States wants. That, to me, is wrong.
I mean, that's where socialist democracy comes into play. It's democracy as long as their legislation gets to pass, but the moment their legislation doesn't get to pass, we have the socialist tyranny part of social democracy. Then you have all the threats and the shaming and publications encouraging for bullying. That's what social democracy means. I don't think if you had the opposite case, where 2 Republicans refused to pass on a Republican legislation that the Republican president and the other Republicans wanted, you'd have Bernie Sanders going there and calling it out. No, because that's like democracy working. Democracy fails when you have 2 people from the left side not going with the flow and saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to vote. And take into account, like 2 people actually represent tens of millions of people. So you're actually having like tens of millions of people represented that are like, no, we're against this. And here you have Bernie Sanders coming out. It's like, how dare you? How dare you, sir? Now, a lot of this starts to make sense, right? Because you get political activists who aren't U.S. citizens and are proud of the fact that they're not U.S. citizens and they're chanting about it, harassing senators, going door to door, convincing citizens to vote for the senators. So they're almost like an activist army. And when you have the activist army, the army needs to keep flowing, like the spice must flow. So it's no surprise when the Biden administration is paying contractors millions a day to not build a border wall. You remember in the media when there was a huge scandal saying that the wall is going to cost too much and there aren't that much resources to build it. Well, now there seems that there are a lot of resources to prevent it from being built after it was paid for. So you need to think about it, right? Like, think, Brandon, think. How can we get activists if we don't let them come in? Think, Brandon, we need to let desperate people in so that they can tell their stories and harass officials into the bathroom so that they pass the legislation we want. Again, think, Brandon, think. Now, you may wonder, who is Brandon? This is Brandon.
Thank you to all of our partners. Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Oh my God, it was learning how each line didn't stay to one. Everything shifted top to bottom so.
Wow, I finally understand the sporting spirit. It's being part of a crowd and having unity and healing and doing chants with other people. Now, I know we can't all go out and meet each other in a stadium, but what we can do is to chant in front of the screen. So let's do it with me. Let's pretend this is karaoke and do it with me together. All right? Maybe you can record it and put it online. So let's do it together, right? Let's go, Brandon. 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 I guess we all gave Brandon our best wishes after that. Although, I gotta give it to the progressive. It's the most beautiful ideology in the world. Instead of tackling problems and fixing them, it can actually gaslight people and say that problems aren't really a bad thing. In fact, problems are a good thing. You should want to have problems so you can vote for more progressive policies. I mean, here you have inflation is here to stay, and this is the most important thing. You always need to say this after a problem, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Look at this, professor of the practice of economics from Duke University. I love his facial expression the most. This looks like a discount Devon Tracy, but still. I mean, imagine this, all right? Imagine if you hit yourself. Like you're going out skateboarding and you fall down from the skateboard and you hit yourself in the knee and you're like, my knee, it hurts. It hurts so bad. And then you have this professor coming at you with this facial expression and he's because you're feeling pain, that's a good thing. And you're like, what is the good thing? My knee, it hurts. It's like, think about it. If you didn't have pain receptors, then that would have been a problem. Do you know people with diabetics, like they lose feeling in the foot, and because of that, they can step on something, they don't feel the pain, and it can get infected. So it's a good thing that you're feeling pain. It's a great thing. You should skateboard more. In fact, you should do exactly what you've did up till now. You should try extreme skateboarding. I think you got what it takes. You should just skateboard nonstop. Never stop skateboarding. It's the best thing ever. And the fact that you're feeling pain, that's a good thing. You see, now I can be an economics professor as well. Why not does no one hire me? No one wants to hire me, and I'm doing such a good job. I mean, I can fearmonger. I can take a bad situation and say that's a good thing. I can also do the chants inside or outside bathrooms. Doesn't matter. I can chant. Just hire me, please. I'm desperate. I need a job. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget, I'm going to be live streaming. We're going to be talking about a couple more issues that I haven't covered in this particular video. And if you're interested, I'll see you guys there. There's a link into the pinned comment. Also, if you want to support the channel, I got a subscribe star. Can donate even like $1 or $5. I don't care how much, but it would help out during the bad winter, the dark winter. Gas prices are rising. Gets me scared. See the media. It's doing a good job. Ratings are up. I need to watch the television to see more about the gas prices. But hey, I'm from Romania, so I got different issues, right? I got different problems that I need to keep an eye on. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.